Stuart Vener is with us right now, national real estate and mortgage expert. Stuart, thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Tracy. It's great to be here.
And it's warm, I presume, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. About 82 today.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about housing. Look, you know what? The numbers are still dismal, right? Existing home sales were the worst they've been. We're going to get new sales on Wednesday. Here, they dropped 9.6% in February. That's year over year, February this year versus February last year. Everyone's expecting new home sales, which come out Wednesday, to be just as lackluster. Where are we going with this?
Well, I'm afraid it's going to stay bad for the next few years. There's just an abundance of property. There's too many people upside down on their mortgages. They can't get their money out of it. They have to either walk away or they have to weather the storm. We're looking at a few hard years, and then so many of these foreclosures that were stalled because of clerical errors are now coming back to the forefront. So we could see another 2.5 million foreclosures hit this country.
Is it a buying opportunity?
A great buying opportunity. I mean, even if properties' values drop a little more, it's the time to buy, but buy for the long term. Whether it's your home or an investment, buy for at least 10 years minimum in the future. Then you'll be good.
Okay, and are there certain pockets that are ripe for the picking right now? Like, I should go out and buy in where?
Buy good property. In fact, right now, it's very interesting. In Israel, they're having a housing boom, a bubble that could very well burst. And so many people from there are buying beachfront property at wholesale prices down here in Cape Coral. Buy good property that was twice what it was a few years ago. I would not recommend buying slum property. Those days I don't think are good anymore.
The notion of being a slumlord or, you know, an investor who flips. Someone on the chat just said, get rid of the speculators. Don't we need them, though, right now? Those are the people that have the cash on hand to come out and pick up some of these foreclosed properties.
Well, yes. I mean, cash is king today. What you see a lot of is you see a lot of people buying these condominiums, especially these condo conversions, where they're buying them in bulk, and they're turning the buildings back into apartment houses. And the sad thing is, here you have maybe a 20-unit condo, and you have one that you're living in as your residence, and 18 of them have now been sold as an apartment house, and you're in a pretty big mess.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that's going to continue. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal today that said that because of the dismal facts that have been coming out of the housing market, because people are starting to get the feeling that interest rates are at an all-time low and are only going to go up, we might actually see activity pick up. Do you buy into that theory?
Well, it certainly is the best time to get a mortgage. I mean, it's the lowest rates I've seen in 40 years. And you do have to qualify for your loan. There's no more just signing your name and just stating your income, but it's a great time to get a mortgage. Absolutely. So it's a great time to get a mortgage, and really, I mean, and again, this is presuming you have all the, you know, well, you got a job, you know, none of this, no doc, all that's all gone. But arguably, and rightfully so.
Of course, I agree with you. Arguably, though, come spring, we could actually see more activity in the housing market than we've seen in a while.
Well, I hope so. I mean, typically the summer is a good time for housing sales. Kids are out of school, people are looking to move and to get situated for their life. And you can certainly buy. I mean, today the good thing is young people can afford their first home, which a few years ago it was virtually an impossibility. Yeah, and especially if the housing market starts to stabilize a little bit more, I think people will be more comfortable to get out there and take the chance. Let's talk about new construction. Are you starting to see any activity? I mean, I think we saw building permits up. No, I'm sorry, they were down. They were down last month. Are we going to start to see that market turn around, or do we just still have too much inventory? Well, there's still too much inventory, but what you're seeing is kind of like a catharsis. I mean, it's cleaning out the bad apples. The people buying new homes today are going to get a much better product than they did a few years ago. The builder can't just slap up some Chinese drywall. And today, if you're going to go buy a home and you're going to buy a new home, instead of Formica, you're probably going to get granite on your kitchen cabinets. You're going to get good quality construction. Used car dealers are gone. I agree with you. People out there, though, are not feeling, you know, any kind of optimism. My neighbor's foreclosing. That's killing my housing value. My property taxes are going up because my state is broke. From the ground, it looks very dismal. Yes, it does. In fact, I was in the mortgage business for many years, and typically if there was a foreclosure, the appraiser would consider that an aberration, and they wouldn't use it as a comparable sale for value. But today, the foreclosure is the norm. So unfortunately, it's going to keep values down for quite a while. Good for a buyer, very bad for a seller.
Median home sale prices of new homes in January of 2011 was $230,600. Average sale price was about $260,000. That's why you're saying young people now, I mean, if you're working, you have a decent job, it's in the realm of possibility. Are we going to see first-time buyers out there?
I sure hope so. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity. But if you're going to buy a home and you're in the market, get your ducks in order.
Yeah.
Get your pay stubs, your W-2s. Don't overspend on consumer credit. Be sure that you can qualify for that mortgage.
And finally, Stuart, do you think we're going to see any more government intervention? I mean, as you mentioned, they screwed up the foreclosure market. The first-time home buyer credit is, are we going to see this kind of stuff again?
I sure hope not. In fact, the best thing the government could do was let Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac fall, let the private sector pick it up, and then you'll see good loans and good products, and the government stay out of our personal lives.
Stuart, you're dead on. Stuart Vener, thank you so much for being with us, sir.
Thank you, Tracy.
National real estate and mortgage expert. Good to get a little insight. Housing, actually, I sort of believed what the Wall Street Journal said earlier, was that we could see people getting out there off their tookuses, because I'm not allowed to say but, according to Stuart Vener, and maybe doing something, because we all know interest rates are never going to be this low again. They were low, and they've already moved back up. So they're not going back down, let's face it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to talk about what's going on in the tech world. A lot's going on in the tech world, let me tell you. The Dow's down about 8 points right now. It's holding steady. It's something. Take it. Europe is closing as we speak. We'll be right back.